In today's video, we're going to be breaking down silver coins, rounds, and bars, talking about what's the difference, the pros and the cons, and which one's the best. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about silver. More specifically, I wanted to go over the difference between silver coins, rounds, and bars. Everything you see on screen right here, we're going to break it down. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. I really appreciate it. Got the limited edition Halloween tees available in 3 different colors, and the DYDSS Fight Collection, helping raise a little bit of funds and awareness for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today, as I'm filming the video, it is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. I have no idea when this video is going to come out, which means I don't know what the spot price is going to be by the time the video drops. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. But today, I wanted to talk about the difference between silver coins, rounds, and bars. Now, most of us who have been stacking, we know the difference. But during a VIP Club stream last week, a VIP Club member, Dylan, asked if there's a certain video on my channel that he can send to a friend or to a family member that really breaks down the difference between coins, rounds, and bars. And there is a video on this channel, but I thought it would probably be beneficial to revisit the topic since it's something that we haven't talked about in a while and really get back to the basics. So I can summarize everything in about 10 seconds. The difference between rounds and bars is that there is no difference. The only difference is the shape. They're the same exact identical thing, generic little pieces of silver, one rectangular, one circular. Coins, on the other hand, are also little pieces of silver, but they're minted by sovereign governments with face value. That's absolutely everything put into a sentence or two. To go into a little bit further detail, I also wanted to mention the fact that these right here, everything on the left side of the screen, we have 2 Creatures of the North Canadian coins. We have a couple of miscellaneous coins right here, 2 different silver eagles, a maple leaf, and a kangaroo, and then up top we have some 90% silver. Those are all coins. And yes, they're minted by different sovereign governments. Yes, they're different denominations. We got 1 ounce right here, we got 2 ounce right here, we got 1/3 of an ounce, 1/6 of an ounce, and 1/14 of an ounce right there. All different sizes, different levels of purity. We got 3/9 fine, we got 4/9 fine, we got 90% up there. I know that's a little bit confusing, but they all have one thing in common, and that is face value. You can see on this right here, and I know that these may differ. That's because they're from different countries with different sovereign governments who use different currencies, leads to different face values. So this right there, $1 right there at the bottom, $1, that's $1 US. Creatures of the North, this is a 2 troy ounce coin. You can see right there at the bottom, $10, that's 10 Canadian dollars. Those up top are probably pretty self-explanatory. They're going by US dollars. The half dollar is, according to face value, worth $0.50. The quarters are worth, according to face value, $0.25. And the 10-cent pieces right there are, according to face value, worth 10 cents. But here's the funny thing about coins. Everything you see on screen, all of these coins right here on the left side of the screen, let me just block everything else off with my hand right there. Everything you see on screen, they do have something else in common, and that's the shape. Yes, they're circular, kind of like those rounds like we talked about. The difference between rounds and bars is just simply the shape. Well, when it comes to coins, they don't need to be circular. They can be rectangular, kind of like this right here. This, you might be looking at it and be like, that's a pretty cool looking bar. It has a dragon on it and whatnot. Well, here's the thing. This is a coin. Sure, it's in the shape of a bar. It's a rectangular shaped coin. How do I know that? Because it's minted by a sovereign government. It's an Australian coin. And what's that say right down there at the bottom above the 2018? $1. It has face value. So this right here is really no different between this right here. These are both a $1 Australian face value coin. That's what each of them are. We just have a kangaroo over here, and we have a dragon over here. Virtually the same thing. Obviously different shapes, different designs, but they're both coins. They're both Australian coins, and they're both worth, according to face value, $1 Australian. So that's pretty interesting about coins right there. In fact, I didn't even realize at first. I stumbled upon these. A couple people were telling me about them. This was actually sent in. This was a gift to the channel. But before I received it as a gift, a couple people had told me about the coin and asked for my opinion, and I was actually referring to it as a bar because I didn't realize. So that's just a little fun fact about coins. They don't have to be circular. They can be in the shape of a rectangle. They could be in the shape of a triangle or a star, for all anybody cares. If it has face value on it, and if it's minted by a sovereign government, it is a coin. Now, getting away from coins, let's talk a little bit more about rounds and bars, because this is where things get a little bit tricky, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter which one you go with between rounds and bars, because they are non-government minted, privately minted, basic, generic, secondary market pieces of silver. Generic silver, where it comes from, who minted it, what's on it, doesn't matter, because it's just a piece of silver. Maybe it has some art on it, maybe it has a cool design, but it's just a piece of silver. The difference between the two is obviously the shape, but if you want to factor in something related to the shape that I would argue is definitely something important to take into consideration, it's that, in my opinion at least, the silver bars are easier and more practical to stack. The reason I say that is because I can't speak for anyone else out there, but I have never seen a circular shaped safe. I've never seen a safe in the world that you open it up and on the inside it's rounded. The safe I have has corners, 4 walls, a top and a bottom, just a cube. Not that it matters, again, not that it matters, but fitting something like this inside of a safe, you can actually end up stacking more silver without even having to get a new safe. And the best way I can explain this is, if you were to get yourself 2 identical safes, and I understand not everybody keeps their silver in a safe, that is so far beyond the point of the video. This is just something that I wanted to mention. 2 identical safes. You fill up one with nothing but silver rounds. I don't care what size they are. They could be little 1 ounce pieces like that. They can be 5 ounce pieces like this right here. They could be 10 ounce pieces for all I care. They could be 20 ounce pieces, 50 ounce silver rounds. I don't care. Circular shaped pieces of silver fit inside of a square shaped box, a safe of some sort. And then you move on over to the safe that you fill up with silver bars. Guess what? You're able to fit more silver into the safe with silver bars. Again, not that it matters, not that it's that big of a deal, not that it's going to make a massive difference. It's just something that I wanted to point out when breaking down the difference between generic rounds and generic bars. The shape of the silver could end up mattering a little bit. Not to mention, silver bars just feel incredible in the hand. They're nice to hold on to. I don't know what it is. I just love a silver bar. This right here is a 5 ounce piece. Here's another decent comparison. These are both 5 ounces. Which one do you think would fit in a safe a little bit better? Which one do you think would be easier to stack? Look at those silver rounds right there. If you were to stack up a bunch of silver rounds next to each other, on top of each other, and next to each other, look at this gap in between them. But if you were to put some silver bars next to each other, stacked up on top of each other and next to each other, boom. Perfect fit. Again, Not that it's that big of a deal. Not that it's anything that matters all that much. It's just something that I wanted to point out, since we are, after all, talking about the difference between silver coins, rounds, and bars. That right there, I would say, is probably a pretty important difference. So when it comes to the difference between the coins, rounds, and bars, I'm pretty sure we ran through that over the course of this video. But now I wanted to talk about which one is the best. To answer this question, it's really personal preference. I would say that coins are the best, but it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something that fits in the safe the best, then obviously you would probably have to go with the bars or rectangular shaped coins. When it comes to the highest level of notoriety and the ability to be recognized and trusted and respected around the world, probably going to go with coins. If you're looking for the lowest possible premiums, normally it was always rounds and bars carried the pretty much identical premiums. I'd noticed in recent years, it's like the premiums on bars are a little bit higher than silver rounds. Not that it makes that big of a difference, but if you're looking for bare minimum, lowest possible premiums, could potentially go with rounds. Silver rounds might be the best bang for your buck, in terms of pure silver, that is. So again, what's the best that fits in the safe? The bars. What's the best to be recognized? Coins. What's the best for getting the bare minimum premiums? Possibly the rounds. So they're all good for different reasons. And if you want to know what's truly the best, I would say getting a little bit of everything. I would say stacking it all. Because diversification is key at the end of the day. Sure, they're all better than one another for different reasons. So what's the harm in getting a little bit of everything? Benefiting from it all. What's the harm in doing that? I would say that's probably the best thing that you could do. But it really comes down to what you're looking for, and if you are doing what I'm doing, which is primarily stacking for weight, trying to get as much physical silver content in your possession as humanly possible for long-term wealth preservation for years and decades to come, you're probably going after bare minimum premium silver, at least for the most part, which is what I'm doing. Nowadays, because the premiums have gotten all wacky over the last year and a half, I'm sticking to 90% silver up here in the top left corner. This is what I'm sticking to. Silver Washington quarters, or in this case, standing Liberty quarters. These are considered dateless because they're so worn down, you can't even tell what year they're from. $50. It could be Kennedy $50, Franklin $50, or Walking Liberty $50, like this right here, a 1947 Walking Liberty. Or it could be a silver dime, potentially, maybe a Roosevelt dime, or potentially a Mercury dime, like this one right here. What does that say? 45? 1945. Mercury dime. This is what I've been going after. 90% junk constitutional silver coins. I believe they make the most sense for what I'm doing right now. I believe they are the best bang for my buck. Actually, I don't believe that. I know that to be true. If that weren't true, I'd be stacking something else. Kind of like what I was doing when I first got started. See, my ultimate goal hasn't changed over the years. My strategy has changed over the years, but regardless of what strategy I'm going with, the end goal has remained the same, which was to get as much physical silver content in my possession as humanly possible. I started out, originally, back in late 2017 when I first got my hands on silver for the first time in my life, I was going with generic rounds. And I had done that for a couple of months. Eventually, I moved on over to the Silver Eagle and the Silver Maple instead of generic rounds. Sure, the premium was a little teeny tiny bit higher, but back then in 2017 into 2018, there was almost no difference. Generic rounds at the time, they were like maybe $1 to $1.25 over spot, maybe somewhere around there. Maple Leafs were about $1.50. Eagles were anywhere between $1.50 and $2. So there was really not that much of a difference per ounce over spot. And I decided for myself that I wanted the foundation of my stack to be this Silver Eagle coin, because it is the coin of my country, the pure silver 1 troy ounce coin of my country. And the Maple Leaf, I just consider that to be second in command for the stack. There was really no difference between the two. The only difference between my newfound strategy of stacking coins as opposed to generic rounds was that government minted. And with it being government minted, it just by default becomes that much more recognizable, trusted, respected, and sought after all around the world. Not to say that generic rounds don't sell. They absolutely do. If you have a bunch of silver rounds and you're trying to get rid of them, you should have absolutely no problem doing so. I just wanted to go with government minted coins. And then eventually I started stacking larger denomination silver bars. There's not a whole lot of larger denomination silver rounds out there, but the bars just feel so good in the hand. They feel really nice to hold on to, especially the 10-ounce bars. They fit in the safe perfectly. Not to mention, with larger denominations come lower premiums anyway, so if you want to really break down the premiums, the bigger the better. So in conclusion, I know this video was a little bit all over the place when it comes to rounds, all over the place when it comes to bars, all over the place when it comes to coins. Different denominations, different levels of purity, different governments, different currencies, different face value, different everything. One thing remains the same, despite all of the differences, the difference in shape, the difference in size, everything. One thing remains the same. Everything you see on screen right here is silver. At the end of the day, silver is silver, which means at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what you choose to go with. Sure, there are some differences, but do the differences really matter? No. You should take note of the differences and understand the pros and the cons. But when it's all melted down, it's all just silver. It really doesn't matter. The most recognizable piece of silver on the planet, that gets taken away when it's melted down. The big giant block of silver that really broke down the premium for you, that doesn't matter either once it's melted down. Silver rounds, they might not fit as well in the safe as a bar would, but that doesn't matter either when it's melted down. It doesn't matter. So in conclusion, they're all fantastic for different reasons. And I personally believe the best strategy to go with is to try to get a little bit of everything. Mix and match it up. See what works the best for you. See what you like the best. That's what's most important. Stack what you like. And you're not going to be able to figure out what you like until you start spicing things up. Get something that you've never gotten before. Get something that you wouldn't ordinarily have gotten. I mean, that's what happened. That's the only reason I have this right here. That's the only reason that I have this right here. That's the only reason I have a lot of things. A lot of the silver and a lot of the gold that I have. It's because I stepped out of my comfort zone and I went after something that I wouldn't ordinarily have gotten. And sometimes I'll turn around and say, okay, yeah, it's nice to have. I'm glad I have one, but I'm satisfied. And sometimes I'll say, wow, I like this way more than I expected to. I need to get some more. See, that's the importance when it comes to stacking silver. Get out of your comfort zone. Think outside of the box. Be creative. Try something out. See what works, see what doesn't. Do a little bit of math in your head or write it down, I don't care. Figure out the best strategy to get you closer to your goal, whether it be as much physical silver content as possible, regardless of what it is, in which case it probably doesn't matter what you're stacking anyway, as long as you're getting your hands on the silver for preferably the lowest possible premium. Maybe your ultimate goal is to have the most diversified stack with the most variety when it comes to all different types of designs, all different types of coins, all different types of metals, all different denominations, all different everything. Maybe that's the goal. Regardless, doesn't matter what the goal is. This video was about the difference between coins, rounds, and bars. Pretty sure we covered that. And it was also about what's the best. I think we covered that as well. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to stacking the silver and the gold, if you had to choose between coins, rounds, or bars, if you had to choose, you can only go for one for the rest of your life, which would you go with? It would be a tough decision for me. As much as I like rounds, they would not be the answer. It would be a tough decision between coins and bars. If I had to choose, I think I would go with the coins. Luckily, we don't actually have to choose. But hypothetically, if you had to choose between coins, rounds, or bars, which would you go with when it comes to the precious metals? And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller and easier to manage. I'm posting exclusive VIP-only adventure vlogs. I also do giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button like a Karen hits a bus window. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Bunch of brand new videos over there. Go check them out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 3,000 subscribers. We just hit 2,000, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations. Got the limited edition DYDSS Halloween tees available in 3 different colors, as well as the DYDSS Fight Collection, raising a little bit of funds and awareness for the National Breast Cancer Foundation for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again. Number 1, first and foremost, let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. Again, this video is being filmed a day or potentially multiple days in advance, so I don't know what the spot price is going to be by the time the video drops. But more importantly, if you absolutely had to choose between silver coins, silver rounds, and silver bars, which would you pick and why? Would you go with the bars just because you like the way they look, or maybe it's because they fit in the safe a little bit better, or maybe you have found that they carry the lowest premiums? Would you go with the rounds because they typically have the most different types of designs? Maybe you like getting different types of silver rounds all the time from all over the place, or maybe you found that those have the lowest possible premiums, or maybe you like the shape of them better than something that's more rectangular. Or would you go with the coins? Government minted coins from sovereign governments all around the world with face value, recognizable, trusted, desired, respected, no matter where you go. Obviously, different levels of purity as well, so that's another option. Something else to remember, something else to take into consideration. It's another way of diversifying even further. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.